The galaxy followed many rules. Some were written in law. Some were carved into history. But one rule was never questioned. Humans do not marry alien races. Not once. Not ever. Aliens could work for humans. Aliens could trade with humans. Aliens could even die for humans in war. But love? Family? That was never for them. On the edge of the Orion trade zone, under a pale artificial sky, a human man stood silently in a crowded alien market. His name was Ethan Cross. He wore a simple coat. Old but clean, his face showed lines of age and loss. Beside him stood a small human girl, no more than 6 years old, holding his hand tightly. Her name was Lena. The market was loud. Alien voices echoed in strange tones. Chains clinked softly. Energy lights flickered above metal cages. This was not a place for children, but Ethan had no choice. Lena looked around, her eyes curious but sad. She saw alien families passing by, mothers holding hands with their children, mothers speaking softly, mothers smiling. She looked up at her father. "Papa," she asked in a quiet voice, "why don't I have a mother like them?" Ethan froze. The sounds of the market faded in his mind. He had prepared for danger, for insults, for violence, but not for this question. He knelt in front of her, placing his hands on her small shoulders. His mouth opened, but no words came out, because the truth hurt too much. Lena's mother had died years ago. Since then, the child had known only silence where warmth once lived. Ethan swallowed hard. Before he could speak, a sharp alien voice echoed across the market. Bonded female for sale. Strong, healthy, trained. Several humans turned away in disgust. Others laughed. Alien women stood behind transparent energy fields. Different colors, different shapes, different eyes. They were not called wives. They were called assets. Lena looked at them carefully. She did not see monsters. She saw sadness. "Papa," she whispered again. "They look lonely." Those words cut deeper than any blade. Ethan stood slowly. Alien traders noticed him. A human here was rare. A human with a child was unheard of. One trader stepped forward, his voice cold and mocking. "Human," the trader said, "you are lost. These are not for you." Ethan did not look at him. His eyes were on the cages. "My daughter needs a mother," Ethan said calmly. Laughter burst from nearby aliens. "A human mother," someone mocked. Ethan shook his head. "No," he said. "She needs love." The laughter died. A heavy silence spread. The trader narrowed his eyes. "You think aliens can love humans?" Ethan finally looked at him. "I think love is not owned by one race." Whispers spread fast. "Is he serious? Is this a joke?" Humans do not bond. The trader leaned closer. "You want a servant? Say it." Ethan's voice hardened. "I do not want servants." The trader smirked. "Then what do you want?" Ethan placed a credit chip on the metal table. The sound echoed louder than expected. "I want a family." Gasps spread through the crowd. The trader laughed loudly. "One alien female costs." "I said family," Ethan interrupted. Then he said the words that would shake the galaxy. "I will take 3. Silence exploded. Aliens froze. Humans stared. Lena looked up, surprised. "Papa," she asked softly. Ethan looked down at her and smiled, a tired but honest smile. "So you will never be alone," he said. Inside the cages, 3 alien women heard him. One stood tall and still, her blue skin glowing faintly. Her eyes showed intelligence, but no hope. Another sat quietly, hands folded, glowing markings pulsing softly with fear and kindness. The third stood at the back, arms crossed, scars across her skin. Her red eyes burned with anger and pain. They all believed the same thing. Humans do not choose aliens. This would end badly. The trader recovered from his shock and sneered. "You will regret this, human." Ethan picked up Lena and held her close. "Maybe," he said, "but my daughter will not." The market buzzed again, louder than before. No one noticed the small smile on Lena's face. No one noticed the first crack in a rule older than the stars. And no one knew that this single moment would change how the galaxy saw humanity forever. The market fell into an uneasy silence after Ethan's words. 3. No human had ever chosen even one alien woman for bonding, and now this human wanted 3. Alien traders stared in disbelief. Humans nearby whispered nervously. Lena held her father's neck tightly, sensing something important was happening. The trader slowly turned his head toward the cages. "Choose carefully, human," he said coldly. "Some are broken. Some are dangerous. Some cannot feel love." Ethan answered without hesitation. "Then I will choose the ones no one wants." That sentence struck harder than a weapon. The trader waved his hand. The energy field shifted, revealing 3 cages at the far end, kept separate from the rest. "These," the trader said, "the unsellable ones." The first woman, Caliph. The first cage held a tall alien woman with smooth blue skin and glowing silver eyes. Her name was Caliph. She stood straight, calm, and silent. Her species was known across the galaxy as cold thinkers. They solved wars, designed weapons, and calculated futures. Love was considered weak among her kind. She had been rejected many times. Too quiet. No emotion. Not suitable for bonding. Caliph looked at Ethan with no hope in her eyes. Humans, she believed, were worse than her own people. They used logic only when it served power. Ethan met her gaze. He did not ask her to smile. He did not ask her to kneel. He nodded to her with respect. Something inside Caliph shifted. Just slightly. The second woman, Mira Zen. The second cage held a smaller alien woman sitting on the floor. Her skin glowed softly, marked with gentle light patterns that pulsed with her breathing. Her name was Mira Zen. Her race were healers, born with empathy, capable of sensing pain in others. That was why she had suffered the most. She felt everything, every insult, every rejection, every cruel thought. She had been sold and returned many times. Too emotional, too fragile, too kind. Mira Zen did not look at Ethan. She was afraid to hope. Lena leaned forward in Ethan's arms and whispered, "She looks sad, Papa." Ethan's jaw tightened. "She will not be sad in my home," he said. Mira Zen's hands trembled. The third woman, Raxai. The last cage stood in shadow. Inside stood a warrior. Tall, strong, scarred. Her red eyes burned like dying stars. Her name was Raxai. She was bred for battle, sold to armies, thrown away when wars ended. Too violent, too dangerous, too angry. She had broken chains before. She stared at Ethan with hatred. "If you buy me," she said in broken trade language, "I will never bow." The trader laughed. "See? She is a beast." Ethan stepped closer to the cage. "I am not looking for someone to bow," he said quietly. "I am looking for someone to stand." Raxai froze. No human had ever said that to her. A choice that shocks the market. The trader sneered. "You choose all 3? "Yes." "You know the risk?" "Yes." "You know the law allows return?" "I will not return them." The trader hesitated. "They will never love you." Ethan looked down at Lena. "They do not need to love me," he said. "They only need to choose." He turned to the cages. "I offer no chains," he said loudly. "No contracts. No force. If you come with me," he continued, "you are free. You can leave any time." Gasps filled the market. Freedom? That word was never spoken here. Caleb blinked slowly. Mira Zen raised her head. Raxai's grip tightened on the bars. "You lie," Raxai growled. Ethan shook his head. "I am human," he said, "and humans protect their family." Lena smiled shyly at the cages and waved. "Hello," she said softly. "Do you want to come home with us?" That was the moment everything changed. Not contracts. Not credits. A child's voice. Caliph felt something she could not calculate. Mira Zen felt warmth instead of fear. Raxai felt her anger crack. The trader activated the release codes. Chains fell. For the first time in their lives, the 3 alien women stepped out not as property, but as a choice. And as they walked behind the human and his daughter, The galaxy unknowingly witnessed the birth of a legend. The journey from the market was silent. Ethan walked at the front, his daughter in his arms. Behind him walked the 3 alien women, free, yet unsure. Kalith walked straight, watching everything with careful eyes. Mirazen kept her hands close to her chest, afraid the moment would break. Raxai stayed a step behind, alert, ready to fight if this was a trap. None of them spoke. Freedom felt unreal. The transport ship lifted into the dark sky. The city lights faded beneath them. Inside the cabin, the silence grew heavy. Lena shifted in Ethan's arms and looked back. "You don't have to be scared," she said softly. The 3 alien women froze. No one had ever spoken to them like that. Mirazen slowly met the child's eyes. "You are not afraid of us?" Mirazen asked. Lena shook her head. "You look nice," she said. "Just sad." Mirazen felt her chest tighten. Kalith watched closely. She had studied thousands of species. Children were loud, careless, and demanding. But this one was different. She was gentle. The ship landed on a quiet human colony. Small, clean, and peaceful. No guards. No chains. No walls. Ethan opened the door. "This is home," he said. Raxai laughed once, bitter and sharp. "This," she said. "No cages." "No cages," Ethan replied. They stepped inside. The house was simple. Warm lights, soft floor, a small table with 4 chairs, then a 5th, added recently. For a moment, the 3 alien women stood frozen. This place was not built for control. It was built for living. Lena slipped from Ethan's arms and ran inside. She stopped, turned around, and looked at them. "So," she said shyly, "are you my mothers?" The words fell like thunder. Kalitha's mind stopped calculating. Mirazen's eyes filled with light. Raxai's breath caught painfully in her chest. Ethan stepped forward quickly. "She does not mean—" Mirazen knelt. "If you want us to be," she said gently, "we can try." Lena smiled. That smile broke something old and hard inside all 3 of them. The first night. That night, no one slept. Kayla sat quietly, watching Lena draw pictures on the floor. Mirazen helped her brush her hair. Raxai stood by the door, guarding without being asked. Lena showed them her drawings. "This is Papa. This is me. And this is you 3. She drew them together. A family. Kayla stared at the image. Her race did not draw families. They designed systems. And yet her chest felt heavy. Later, when Lena finally slept, Mirazen sat beside her bed, glowing softly to calm her dreams. "She trusts us," Mirazen whispered. Raxai looked away. "She should not," she said. "We are broken." Ethan heard them. "Broken things," he said quietly, "are not useless. They are just unfinished." Raxai clenched her fists. No one had ever spoken to her like that. The first threat. The next morning, the colony alarms rang. A message flashed across every screen. Galactic Council notice. Illegal interspecies bonding detected. Child custody under review. Kalith read the message first. "They will come," she said. "They will try to take Lena." Mirazen felt panic rise. "They will say we are unfit," she whispered. "They always do." Raxai's eyes burned. "Let them come," she growled. "I will stop them." Ethan stood still. "No," he said firmly. "We will not run, and we will not fight." They stared at him. "This is what humans do," he continued. "We stand." Lena walked in, rubbing her eyes. "What's wrong?" she asked. Mirazen knelt and hugged her gently. "Nothing," she said. "We are here." Lena hugged back. "I don't want to lose you," Lena whispered. Kayla felt something snap. In that moment, she made a choice no logic could explain. "You will not," Kayla said. Raxai stepped forward, placing herself between Lena and the door. "They will go through me first," she said. For the first time, the 3 alien women were not property. They were protectors. A quiet promise. That night, Ethan watched them sit together, awkward, unsure, but real. He understood then. This was not about buying 3 alien women. This was about something far greater. A child had done what laws never could. She had made them a family. And the galaxy was about to learn a dangerous truth. Human love does not conquer with force. It conquers by choosing. The message from the Galactic Council spread faster than fear. By morning, every channel was talking about the human who had crossed a line no one dared to touch. A human had bonded 3 alien women. A human child called them mothers. To the galaxy, this was not love. It was a threat. Council ships arrived above the colony, without warning. Silver and black, cold and perfect, hovering like judgment itself. Inside the house, the air felt heavy. Caleb watched the sky through the window. Council enforcement, she said calmly. High authority. Mirazen held Lena close. Her light dimmed with fear. They will say we are dangerous, she whispered. They always do. Raxai tightened the straps on her armor. Then they will bleed, she said. Ethan shook his head. No fighting, he said. Not today. Raxai stared at him. They will take her. They will try, Ethan replied. A sharp knock hit the door. Not a request. A command. Ethan opened it. 3 council officers stood outside. Tall, armored. Their eyes held no emotion. Ethan Cross, the lead officer, said, "You are charged with illegal interspecies bonding, emotional manipulation, and child endangerment." Lena peeked from behind Mirazen's leg. "Papa?" she asked. Ethan knelt. "I'm right here," he said softly. The officer looked at the alien women. "These entities are to be returned to council custody immediately." Raxai stepped forward. "They are not entities," she growled. "They are family." The officer ignored her. "The child will be removed for evaluation." That was the moment everything changed. Mirazen's glow flared bright with panic. Kayla stepped forward, her voice sharp and clear. "You have no evidence of harm," Kayla said, "under council law." Council law does not recognize alien caregivers for human offspring. The officer interrupted. Lena began to cry. "I don't want to go," she said. "They are my mothers." Silence fell. The officer hesitated, not because of law, but because the child was human. Ethan stood. "If you take my daughter," he said calmly, "you will have to explain to Galaxy why she is screaming." The officer's jaw tightened. "This is bigger than you," he said. Ethan nodded. "I know," he replied. "That's why I'm standing." The public turns. Council drones recorded everything, and people were watching. Across the galaxy, viewers saw something strange. 3 alien women standing in front of a human child, protecting her. Mirazen knelt, wiping Lena's tears. Kayla spoke clearly into the recording drone. "We were offered freedom," she said. "No chains, no force. We chose to stay." Raxai crossed her arms. "No human ever protected me before," she said. "This one did." The officer raised his hand. "This hearing will be moved to the council hall." A dangerous journey. The transport ship was cold and silent. Lena slept between Mirazen and Caliph, holding their hands. Raxai sat across from Ethan. "If they hurt her," she said quietly, "I will break the stars." Ethan met her eyes. "I believe you," he said. For the first time, Raxai smiled. Council hall. The council hall was massive, bright, empty of warmth. Alien leaders watched from above. Human, the High Counselor said, "Why did you bond 3 alien women?" Ethan answered simply, "Because my daughter needed a mother." "3 mothers?" the counselor asked. Ethan nodded. "One for comfort," he said. "One for guidance. And one to stand between her and the dark." The chamber murmured. The counselor leaned forward. "You challenge thousands of years of law." Ethan looked around the hall. "Then your laws are wrong," he said. Gasps echoed. The counselor raised a hand. "This session is suspended. Judgment will come." As the guards moved them away, Lena looked back at the council. "You can't take them," she said softly. "They chose me." That sentence spread across the galaxy, and for the first time, the council realized something terrifying. This was no longer a private matter. This was a story people believed in, And stories are harder to silence than rebels. The holding quarters were quiet. Too quiet. White walls. Soft lights. No chains, but no freedom either. Lena sat on the bed between Caliph and Mirazen, drawing with simple color pens. Raxai stood near the door, arms crossed, watching every movement outside. Ethan sat nearby, silent, thinking this place was meant to look safe. But all of them knew it was a cage. Still, something changed here. Caliph learned warmth. Caliph watched Lena closely. The child hummed as she drew. No fear, no anger. Caliph's people believed emotions cause weakness. She had been trained to suppress them. Yet when Lena handed her a drawing, something strange happened. "This is you," Lena said. "You are blue and tall." Caliph stared at the picture. It was not perfect. The lines were uneven. But Lena had drawn her standing close to them. Not alone. Caliph felt her chest tighten. "Why did you draw me here?" she asked. "Because you stay," Lena replied. "You don't leave." That answer stayed with Caliph. For the first time, she wanted to stay not because she was allowed, but because she was needed. Mirazen finds safety. Mirazen sat beside Lena, glowing softly. Her light changed color when she felt emotions. Right now it was warm and calm. She brushed Lena's hair gently. "Does it hurt when I pull your hair?" Lena asked suddenly. Mirazen froze. No one had ever asked her that. "No," she whispered. "But thank you for caring." Lena smiled. "You always make me feel better," she said. "Like Mama used to." Mirazen's glow brightened and then shook. Tears rolled down her face. For years, she had healed others. Now someone healed her. Raxai learned she is more than a weapon. Raxai stood guard, as always. That was all she knew. Fight, protect, survive. Lena walked up to her slowly. "Are you angry?" Lena asked. Raxai knelt, lowering herself. "Not at you," she said. "Good," Lena replied. "Because I like you." Raxai's breath stopped. No one had ever liked her. "You are strong," Lena continued. "Strong people keep bad things away." Raxai placed a hand on the floor, steadying herself. For the first time, her strength felt like something good, not something shameful. Ethan watches them change. Ethan watched quietly. He saw Kayla sit closer. Mirazen smiled without fear. Raxai guard with purpose, not anger. He understood something then. He had not saved them. Lena had. A small test. Later that day, a council aide entered the room. "You may return the alien women," the aide said to Ethan. "The child can remain with you." The room went silent. Mirazen stiffened. Caliph turned cold. Raxai's eyes burned. Lena looked confused. "Why?" she asked. "They didn't do anything bad." The aide avoided her eyes. "They are unsuitable." Ethan stood. "No," he said simply. The aide frowned. "Think carefully. This is your chance." Ethan knelt beside Lena. "What do you want?" he asked. Lena looked at the three women. "I want my mothers," she said. Ethan turned back to the aide. "Then we refuse." The aide left. A quiet promise. That night, Lena slept between Mirazen and Caliph. Raxai sat near the bed. Caliph spoke softly. "If the council rules against us..." Raxai finished the sentence. "We will still stand." Mirazen placed her hand over Lena's. "We choose her," she said. Ethan nodded. "Whatever happens," he said, "you're not alone anymore." Outside, the council prepared its final judgment. But inside that small room, something stronger than law had formed. A family. And the galaxy was about to learn something dangerous. Once humans choose someone as family, they do not let go. The council hall was full. Not with people, but with eyes. Millions of screens across the galaxy streamed the trial live. Humans, aliens, traders, soldiers, and workers all watched the same moment. At the center of the hall stood Ethan Cross. Beside him stood Lena. And behind them stood three alien women, silent, calm, unbroken. The High Counselor's voice echoed. "Ethan Cross," he said, "you are accused of violating galactic law, manipulating alien emotions, and placing a human child at risk." The words were heavy. Ethan did not argue. He simply nodded. I understand the charges, he said. The counselor leaned forward. Why did you bond 3 alien women, he asked. Answer clearly. Ethan looked down at Lena. Then he looked at the council. Because my daughter needed a mother. A wave of whispers spread. The counselor frowned. 1 mother would have been strange, he said. 3 is madness. Ethan spoke calmly. 3 is love, he replied. Lena squeezed his hand. The counselor turned to the alien women. Did this human force you? He asked. Kayla stepped forward. No, she said. He gave us freedom. You could have left? Yes. Why didn't you? Caleb paused. Because the child asked us to stay. The hall grew quiet. Mirazen stepped forward next. I was never chosen before, she said softly. Only returned. He offered no chains, she continued. Only a home. Raxai stepped last. I was a weapon, she said. To humans, to aliens, everyone. She looked straight at the council. He saw a mother. The counselor raised a hand. Emotion does not replace law. Ethan nodded. Then judge me, he said. But listen first. The council allowed him to speak. Ethan took a breath. My species has made many mistakes, he said. We have fought wars. We have caused pain. But when we choose family, he continued, we choose forever. He gestured toward Lena. She did not ask for a perfect mother's. She asked for someone who would stay. Lena looked up at the council. I choose them, she said softly. The hall froze. The counselor hesitated. No law allows a child to choose. She should. Ethan said firmly, she is the one who loves them. The council retreated to decide. Minutes passed. Then a decision came. The alien women are free, the counselor announced. The child remains with the human. Relief washed over the room. Then the counselor continued. However, interspecies family bonds will be reviewed. The galaxy held its breath. You did not break the law, the counselor said. You revealed its weakness. Silence. Then applause began. Not loud, not fast, but unstoppable. Across the galaxy, something changed. For the first time, alien women were not property. They were choice. As they left the hall, Lena held all 3 hands. Ethan walked beside them, and the galaxy understood something new. Humanity's greatest weapon was never strength. It was loyalty. The council hall slowly emptied. But the story did not end there. Across the galaxy, screens replayed the trial again and again, not because of the laws, not because of the arguments, but because of one image. A human child holding the hands of 3 alien women. A quiet return. Ethan and his family returned to the small human colony. This time, they were not alone. People watched, not with fear, with curiosity. Kalith walked calmly, no longer hiding herself. Mirazen's glow shone brighter than before. Raxai stood tall, not as a weapon, but as a shield. Lena ran ahead, laughing. For the first time, she was not asking questions. She was living answers. A new life begins. The days became simple. Kayla taught Lena how to think, how to ask questions, how to stay calm. Mirazen taught her kindness, patience, and how to feel without fear. Raxai taught her courage, how to stand tall even when afraid. Ethan watched from a distance. He had not built this family. They had built each other. At night, Lena would sit between them and listen to stories. Different worlds, different stars, one family. The galaxy responds. Messages began to arrive. Alien women asking about freedom. Human families asking questions. Council members asking for guidance. Other humans followed. They did not buy. They asked. They did not force. They offered choice. Slowly, the markets changed. Cages disappeared. Contracts weakened. Families formed. Not all at once, but enough. A name given by the stars. The council gave humanity a new title. Not official, but true. The builders of families. It spread across worlds. Not as fear, as hope. Lena grows. Years passed. Lena grew taller, stronger, kinder. She stood One day before the same council hall, older now, confident. Behind her stood Caliph, Mirazen, and Raxai. "My fathers and mothers taught me something," Lena said. "Family is not about race. It is about staying." The council listened. The galaxy listened. A final truth. Ethan stood at the edge of the colony one evening, watching the stars. Kayla stood beside him. "You change history," she said. Ethan shook his head. "No," he replied. "My daughter did." Behind them, Mirazen laughed softly as Lena hugged Raxai. A family that should never exist. A family that changed everything. And somewhere in the endless dark of space, an old rule finally died. No one ever marries our race. Because humanity had answered with something stronger than law. Love. If you enjoyed this HFY Sci-Fi story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. More powerful human-first stories are coming soon on HFY Adult Hub.